I want to stop climate alarmism. We have seen an assault on the minds of our children. The truth is that they are raising our kids to believe that the world is a terrible, tragic, frightening place, and that the only way that we can potentially survive as a human species is to hand over all the power to the government. We know what they did with the COVID lockdowns. We've seen suicide rates go up. We've seen mental health crisis among the young. Why? Because we've been shoving this crazy information into kids' heads that just walking out the front door could lead to their death. You might have seen a 60-minute special that was on TV last night. It featured Paul Ehrlich, a man whose claims have been debunked so many times it's amazing he still has a job, but he does. And he used his platform to stoke fear. Here, take a look at what he said.
Too many people, too much consumption, and growth mania.
You seem to be saying that humanity is not sustainable.
No, humanity is not sustainable. To maintain our lifestyle, yours and mine, basically, for the entire planet, you'd need 5 more Earths. Not clear where they're going to come from.
I don't think you'll find a scientist that will say we're not in an extinction crisis.
Now, I ran across a great article. The name of the article is No, Humans Are Not Causing a Sixth Mass Extinction. This guy is a respected journalist who has an incredible platform that I would encourage you to check out on Substack. I just want to give you a few quotes. The claim that 5 more Earths are needed to sustain humanity comes from something called the ecological footprint calculation. I debunked that claim 10 years ago with a group of other scientists and analysts in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. They have these 6 different measures that they take a look at, and they say, how are we doing on all of these? 5 of the 6, including food and forestry, were either in balance or in surplus. In other words, we're keeping up with, or we have a surplus in 5 of the 6 categories. The only thing out of balance was humanity's carbon emissions. But reducing carbon emissions requires neither that rich nations become poor, nor that poor nations remain poor. Rather, it simply requires that we move toward energy solutions that produce fewer carbon emissions, namely natural gas and nuclear. There's a second claim. It's the claim that we're going through this 6th mass extinction. Schellenberger writes this: to cause a mass extinction, humans would need to be wiping out 75 to 90% of all species on Earth. The main scientific body that tracks species says that just 6% of species are critically endangered, 9% are endangered, and 12% are vulnerable to potentially becoming endangered. In another place, he writes this: just 0.8% of the 112,432 plant, animal, insect species have gone extinct since the 1500s. That huge increase in biodiversity during the last 100 million years massively outweighs the species loss in past mass extinctions. What about the Earth? Are we making enough room on Earth for animals? He says it's not the case that humankind has failed to conserve habitat. By 2019, an area of Earth larger than the whole of Africa was protected, an area that is equivalent to 15% of Earth's land surface. It's time that we have some grown-ups in the room on the climate discussion. For too long, the discussion has been dominated by politicians, by activists, by alarmists, by media figures who all stand to make a lot of money if they keep us in fear. I'd suggest checking out someone like Bjorn Lomborg, who wrote a book called False Alarm. He doesn't deny the numbers that are being given to us by the United Nations. He just says there's a radically different approach than we hear many of these politicians taking. We need leaders who are offering true solutions, not socialism dressed up in green robes. Good news, the Earth isn't going to burn up. We're not going to run out of food or space. Humans are really good at adapting to the situations that we face. What we need are the smart people in the room to stop trying to scare us and actually begin looking at real world solutions. We need solutions where the costs don't far outstrip the benefits. Say no to the lies. Believe the truth. The news is promising. God bless you. We'll see you. Bye.